When you hear Super Mario, what's like the first game that pops into your mind? It might be Super Mario 64 with its popular speedrunning category, or it might be a new Super Mario Bros. Wii for all you Zoomers out there. And if you're really ancient, Hotel Mario.
I hope she made lots of spaghetti!
By now you can already tell that there's a lot of Mario games, and I mean a lot of Mario games. Most people have fond memories with these game titles, so I find it really shocking that one of these game titles just suddenly vanished and forgotten from the public's mind. And personally, I feel like this game deserves much more recognition than it deserves, and that game is Nintendo engineer Gunpei Yokoi and Satoru Okada both came up with the idea of the original Game Boy. The Game Boy was envisioned as a successor of the Game & Watch. It was designed to be a fully fleshed out gaming system that can play interchangeable cartridges and have support from first-party and third-party developers. Development on the new handheld began in 1987 by Research and Development Team 1, better known as R&D 1, the same people who are responsible of the Game & Watch. They were trying to figure out what game titles should be included to coincide with the launch of the Game Boy. Gunpei Yokoi already knew what the Game Boy needed, and it just so happened to be a little tiny Italian mustache man. A platformer game like Super Mario with its simple and linear game design makes it much more widely accessible to all players from all ages to pick up and play. A well-known IP like Super Mario can help introduce and establish the Game Boy to both casual and hardcore fans. Shigeru Miyamoto was asked to help with the development of Super Mario Land, but Shigeru Miyamoto declined because he was already too busy and was involved in other projects like Super Mario World and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. He gave R&D 1 the green light to develop Super Mario Land without his involvement. This would have marked the first time Shigeru Miyamoto wasn't involved in a Mario game. Without Shigeru Miyamoto directing a new mainline Mario game, this duty role was passed on to Satoru Okada. With Okada leading development, Gunpei Yokoi also held as a producer and was already familiar with the famous plumber, which dates back to 1983 when Mario Bros came out for the arcade machines. This all culminated in new ideas being implemented into the new game while still retaining the same feel of any other 2D Mario game. This explains why Super Mario Land have unique elements that makes it stand out from the rest of the Mario franchise. New characters were introduced like Knucklebone, Chibi-Bo, and Hakun Flowers. If you can't tell already, they look exactly alike to already existing characters in the Mario universe. All jokes aside, they did include new characters, most notably Princess Daisy, who makes her first debut in this game. She later on became a staple of the Super Mario series and had been in countless sports and spin-off games like Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, and you already get the rest. On July 31st in 1989 in North America, Super Mario Land was released to the public alongside with the Game Boy. Reading from the instruction manual for Super Mario Land, we learn of a new world called Sarasa Land. Her ruler, Princess Daisy, had been kidnapped by an unknown space monster named Tatanga from the skies. It's up to Mario to rescue Princess Daisy and restore peace to Sarasa Land from the clutches of Tatanga. What I find interesting about Super Mario Land is its 4 kingdoms because they take real-world inspiration. The Borobudur Kingdom is based off of ancient Egypt as seen by their pyramids, hieroglyphic, and palm trees. Muda Kingdom takes inspiration from the Bermuda Triangle just off the western part of North America that connects 3 points: Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. This region is known for its urban legend stories of ships going missing, alien UFOs, and sea creatures. Eastern Kingdom is obviously based on Easter Island because of the abundance of moai heads that are scattered around the island. Lastly, the Kingdom of Chai is influenced by ancient China because of the bamboos and the music, which has a far eastern sound to it. Super Mario Land only has 12 levels, making it one of the shortest Mario games to play. Your average Joe can probably beat this game in under an hour or so. The reason why for the short length is due to the limitations of the hardware of the Game Boy. The original Game Boy can only use 64 kilobytes of addressed space, and 32 kilobytes out of that 64 is composed of the ROM itself. Super Mario Land has around 32 kilobytes in size, just enough space to fit nicely of the remaining 32 kilobytes of the ROM space of the original Game Boy. So, some of you guys might be wondering, what is the gaming experience like playing Super Mario Land? Oh boy, let me tell you. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick because most of the time you're fighting with the laws of physics and gravity in this game, because Mario is a little bit clunky because, I don't know, he probably ate too much meatballs or spaghetti. But the point is, when you're off a ledge of a cliff, you fall. You fall like the weight of queso when he fell off from his own gaming chair.
Yo, that almost killed me.
Another thing that really grinds my gears is that I can't move to the freaking left side of the screen. I want to go to the left side of the screen to pick up a power-up so I can continue the level without dying. But no, the game just laughs at me like, haha, no, you can't go back. If you're not good at the game, skill issue. Well, at least there's like checkpoint systems, unlike the original Super Mario Bros. Game, because when you start off the level, you know, you're doing whatever, you're avoiding a bunch of obstacles, not dying from enemies. Once you reach the end point, if you die to a Hammer Bro or a Bullabill or a Goomba, if you die to a Goomba, that's on you. But anyways, if you die, you're restarted from the beginning of the level, which sucks. Here in Super Mario Land, there's like some type of checkpoint system around the stage. So whatever point you die, you respawn to the closest death where you died from. You know what I really like about this game, and it is the side scroller levels, because they are they're nice additions. It's a nice change of pace from the normal platformer game, because most of the time you're just, you know, walking on land and just, you know, jumping and avoiding all obstacles. Then suddenly, boom, you're inside of a spaceship. Boom, you're inside a spaceship. What? No, airplane. Sorry. Boom, you're in an airplane fighting aliens. Boom, you're in a submarine fighting a seahorse. It's just, you know, the spike difficulty, you know, goes up. It's totally something that you did not expect, and you have to adapt to the new level. And also, who doesn't like a nice shoot 'em up? Just, you know, just spamming the button, just shooting like whatever because you don't care. That's what I really like about games. What else is there to talk about? Well, they did add a flower ball. That's not the actual name because I don't know the actual name, the official name, but I might put it on screen somewhere. But anyways, essentially, instead of a fireball, you shoot big, girthy balls, and it goes all over the screen. And sometimes it takes like an eternity to disappear, but I like them because they pick up coins, and you know, you think a little bit of where to shoot the balls because, yeah, I guess the trajectory of the bounce. But yeah, that's nice. Overall, do I recommend Super Mario Land? You're goddamn right, I recommend Super Mario Land. Seriously, if you guys haven't played it, go ahead. You can probably play it on Nintendo Switch Online service and other means, but I'm not gonna say it, but you know. Well, that's about to wrap it up in this video, so if you guys like it, like, subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
Super Idol the Sharon, don't mind me, the tie by you, Semo, don't mind me,